Good morning, Alice. It looks like we're the first two here.
Oh, hopefully that's Carmi. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear
Oh,
you.
okay. All right. I
I'm
just
not
noticed.
like the first two here. So
Yeah,
can we push through the change?
yeah,
Oh.
quorum. I noticed in the HackMD file it says that it might be shortened or cancelled, but we do have someone now. So,
Ah,
Hello.
hi.
good afternoon, morning, evening.
Welcome to the OCI call.
Thank you. First time, first time here.
I was about to say, got a couple unfamiliar faces, so welcome to new
Yeah,
people.
thank you. Just in the HackMD file. Uh, it's got like some sort of functionality. Mm.
I've seen that one going around a little bit.
Sorry, Brandon, what did he say?
I've seen that PR floating around a
Oh
little bit.
yeah, yeah. We're here on a mission
You're
with an
on a
agenda,
mission.
and an agenda item.
I, I hope I don't disappoint you too much. I think the only runtime maintainer that tends to join this call is Tianon, and he is
Ah,
not going to
okay,
be here today.
okay. Well, that's okay. I mean, you have this call every week, don't you?
We do, and you're more than welcome to come here and chat and socialize about it.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, our developer who submitted the request couldn't make it, so Carmi and I said that we would stop in and fly the flag. So maybe if it makes more sense for us to come back next time, we can do that.
Yeah, I think the person we want to try to wrangle into this one for you is going to be Tianon. And we'll see what he
Yeah,
says. He tends to he has an even keel on things.
cool. Be great to meet him. Do we need to let him know like ahead of time that we're interested in discussing it?
He's usually here. Today is Juneteenth in the US.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's a lot of people that are probably going to be missing a day. I wasn't even sure if there'll be anybody here, and I show up and there are two people here, and so I was
yeah,
surprised.
yeah. Well, I'm in the UK, so it didn't even cross my mind that Juneteenth was
Mhm.
happening.
Now, and if you
Even
don't have kids and you don't work in an office, then it's hard to remember holidays that aren't on Monday here. I was like, I was trying to figure out whether we're going to have garbage pickup today. I went to go take stuff out and I'm like, I don't think we have it today. So
Yeah, but in general, what were you thinking of for this PR? Are you just looking for pushing the maintainers to get it moved forward a little bit?
Um, yeah, we just wanted to make sure that it was on the radar and that if it's waiting on being having any review, that review could happen. I don't know if Doug actually, he said he was going to address some comments yesterday, so I don't know if he did.
Was working on that yesterday. I
Yeah,
don't know if I understand, but we definitely talked.
yeah. He's
So
added a comment.
and
Yeah, he's added a
basically
comment.
it's also, if there's anything more or anything that questions that, you want to address that we can take back. That's the other part of it.
Hmm. Yeah, his comment yesterday on the pull request is, does anyone else have comments or suggestions? What should our next steps be to make this acceptable for the runtime spec? So I think it's
And
just,
just knowing this is
I'm
knowing
sorry,
this is
go ahead.
FreeBSD, has Sam chimed in much on any of this?
Yeah, Sam's been advising Doug and so on. Yeah, they've definitely been in contact.
Yep.
And Sam and Doug and I were at KubeCon. Well, Sam was at KubeCon. Doug and I just went to catch Sam. And yeah, so he has been in the loop for most of it.
He's on the call every other week with us, or almost every other week.
Sajay, welcome. I'm not sure if you were wondering whether or not we were going to meet today or not.
Thank you. Thank you all.
We were just chatting about some of the stuff the FreeBSD working group is doing. They're working on their PR over on the runtime spec, and so hoping to get some feedback from folks. I don't know how much you've dealt with FreeBSD on your side.
No, this is not my area of expertise. I will just be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, it's something I look at. I'm just for your background, Sajay and I are over on Sajay, is it just image spec that you're on?
I'm only on image spec, yes.
Okay. So we're both on image spec. I'm also on the distribution spec. And so
Oh,
get
cool.
a handful of us that are focused a little bit upstream, and you're looking on the other side of that direction for the
Yeah,
runtime.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see that getting added. I would suspect that if there's any pushback from the maintainers, it's just going to be that a lot of them don't run FreeBSD, so they don't know what questions they should be asking, or what feedback they can give. And so a lot of this is going to be getting people. I think people like Sam would be good. Anybody that's got some FreeBSD experience would be good. Maybe it means they need another maintainer. We'll find out.
Yeah, Carmi, I'm on vacation next week and the week after, so if you're able to,
I can Mike can definitely come next week. The week after is beyond my ability to plan, but I don't know of anything that far out.
Yeah, all right.
I would say a good thing to do if you're looking to drum up some more conversation in this meeting on that is to also give Sam a ping. Just let him know, because he isn't in every one of these meetings. He kind of pops in whenever time permits on his side.
Yeah. Would it be in terms of, do you think coming to this meeting is the best route for us, or would we maybe name check some people on the pull request like Sam and Tianan?
In general, for the runtime, they tend to do a lot of their stuff just directly in the GitHub.
Mm.
And so a lot of their back and forth is straight on the issues, straight on the PRs, and every once in a while we'll see them drop into maybe the Slack. In this meeting, not as much, but that doesn't mean that you're not allowed to come in and hang out and talk about runtime stuff. It's just we just don't have a lot of those maintainers over here. I think their time zones probably spread a lot more.
Yeah, I can see that Tianan actually has been part of the reviewing process. He reviewed it early May, and I don't know that Sam did. He
I thought
definitely got
I thought
pinged.
Sam had after I did. I mean, after I went through the docs.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if his name comes up as having reviewed it through GitHub. He may have reviewed it informally
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just given like verbal feedback or an email or something. He's
Yeah.
not. He's not
His name is
written
not
any.
listed. Yeah, his name isn't listed on any of the reviewers there, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's not a runtime maintainer, so he might not have this as direct on his radar. Maybe indirect
Yeah. He
side
he
conversations.
he definitely got name checked. Akihiro Suda
Yeah,
pinged for him, but I don't know whether it got through. But
yeah. When I look through the list over there, I think of we got a handful of folks that are in like Japan, or I think Cypher might, or yeah, Cypher might be um Australia or New Zealand. I think he might be way over on the other side of the world.
really
And Sebastian is over there in the EU. You could probably have a handful of EU people in there. So just time zone wise, they just don't show up to this just
got
because
it.
they're all scattered.
Yeah, got it. Um,
But thinking of people that'll, respond to that. Every once in a while we'll see I'm gonna slaughter the name, I feel bad. Giuseppe. Every once in a while he will chime into some meeting here and there, but more on like the gatherings at a KubeCon or something like that.
okay. Well, maybe what we do then, Kami, is Doug left a comment on the pull request yesterday. So let's just see if he gets any feedback before next week. And then if he doesn't, perhaps we can name check Tianan, who has already been involved in the pull request directly. We can ask Doug to do that.
Great.
We'll take it from there.
Yeah, that's
And
fine.
even though Sam isn't a maintainer, his experience on the FreeBSD side, if he chimes in and gives
Yeah.
like a
Okay.
non-maintainer review, that pulls some weight.
Yeah, we could ping them both then in that case. I think that would be sensible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
have a call with Doug on Tuesday, every Tuesday now, working on stuff together. So I can check before the Thursday call. Easy.
Hey there, Brian. Welcome to the meeting. Are you going to stay on mute today? Just to fill you in, we were chatting about FreeBSD looking to get added over onto the runtime spec. So I'm not sure if you have any feedback or thoughts over there on that one. Sometimes folks can't come off mute, and so it'll just be a permanent fly on the wall. I've been that person before when I'm like running around the house and like washing dishes or something else and just trying to hear what's going on in the meetings.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so if you ping them, if you don't get something, you're welcome to come back and hang out and chat about this here. I'm just
Thank you.
trying to think of the best way to get some more attention. The other one is the Slack. But I think the biggest reason you might be hearing a lot of crickets isn't so much that they're not interested, it's probably this just that a lot of people don't have FreeBSD experience.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just making a note now.
It reminds me, my dad years ago applied for an NSF grant, and they couldn't find reviewers because all the reviewers were referenced all the potential reviewers were all friends. They all had been referenced in the paper. And so they had to figure out a process for which you could get the people that were actually knew something on the topic, but were implicated because they had been involved. It's just that kind of problem.
Finding anyone, everyone that hasn't already permanently recused themselves. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. The other things that I had thrown on the agenda here, I kind of would like to get a little bit more turnout before we dig too much into them. I would say about the only thing that Brian and Sajay might be interested in is the last one that I threw on the agenda, which was copy a link here, and I'm also going to open it up on my side.
I'll take this opportunity to say thanks and duck out then
Okay.
in that case, because
Yeah, we'll we'll probably only be like 5 minutes. We're all going to jump out of here as well. But thank you for coming. And
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
All right.
Alice, I'll see
Good seeing
you when you're back. I'll hang
Yeah.
out till the end because maybe all of a
Okay.
sudden everybody was bored and had nothing to do and jumps in.
Yeah, it just shows up. Okay, makes
You
sense.
never know if someone shows up, but my
Yeah.
expectation is that today's meeting is going to be pretty short. Just a lot of folks are out today, and that's
It
all
totally
right.
makes sense.
All right.
Perfect.
Thanks, Alice.
Yeah,
I'll try
thanks.
to have
Really
a look at the free
great to see you
BSD
all.
stuff.
Oh,
What
I'm
was that,
sorry.
Brian?
Oh, I'll just saying I'll try to have a look at the free BSD stuff.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
That's
Thanks.
really helpful. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully cross paths again at some point soon.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Alex.
Thank
Have
you.
fun
Thank
on your day.
you. Bye now.
So the other one that I think would be interesting to at least get some thoughts on to consider, and I haven't really dug into it, was on the distribution spec. They're asking about when they do a chunked blob request in the middle. In the middle of that chunk blob request, you can do a get on the last location header you've got, and it's supposed to give you back a range to let you know here's how many bytes you've received already, or that we've received already. That range number doesn't have a good definition if you haven't sent any bytes yet. And so they're asking what that should be. And I think for me, I'm going to want to look through some HTTP specs, look at some implementations out there. I suspect a lot of implementations are saying 0 to -1 is their range. And they're going to do that just because they're subtracting 1 from the number of bytes they've already received, and you get a -1 out of that, which is technically not correct, but also kind of quasi-technically correct. And so not sure what other folks think, but I just kind of wanted to put it on some people's radar. I'll let you chew on that one for a little bit. Sajay, is this even on your radar at all? Knowing that you're probably only looking at the image spec stuff.
No, I haven't looked at this.
Yeah. I think they were looking at some people that were trying to do a chunk request to push a 0-byte blob. And they started running into some of these questions on that one, and they realized that the issue with the spec was really on this side of it that they had, and so they raised it up over here. It's one of these edge cases I don't think anybody has really seen. I'd be curious what ACR does, probably pull up Docker Hub or just the distribution project directly and see what they do. But yeah, it's a really weird edge case.
This is also why we never made config 0 byte, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can imagine is if you do your request and the first chunk fails, and then you go back and say, well, how do we get this to work? And then you go back and check the location header. Well, you're going to come back and find out you're right at the very beginning. I'm looking at your question there, Brian, to see if this looks similar or not. Possibly. And it looks like they're doing some kind of range in there. I'm curious what that fetch test is there, where the byte 0 to dash.
Well, let's go.
What's that, Sajay?
Up. Sorry, background.
Okay. So yeah, when the chunk size is 0, that's a challenge, but I think a lot of these is... So it looks like they only in container D are they only including it when the offset is greater than 0? And so an offset of 0 doesn't trigger it in container D. think that's a question for Brian. Not sure if you've had a chance to dig into that.
Only minimally. I think in Containerd 2.1 they added this parallel pull, and so they were doing this chunked reader if they've set a parallelism higher than 1.
So if it's a pull, that shouldn't matter to us, because the pull, those chunks are all predefined in there. This is on the push,
Okay.
so this will be a different issue. Yeah, the one they're looking at in the issue was when they do the chunk push, you do an initial, I want the location header, then I'm going to do my chunked push 2, and you get back the location. I think that's, what is it, a post request in there, whatever. Yeah, they do the post request, and then you do a series of patch requests. If that very first patch request fails, the reconciliation there for the client is to say, well, something went wrong there. Let me check with the server the last known location that I had, do a get on that, and that's supposed to return back, here's the location I want you to send it to, and oh, by the way, here's the range that you've already delivered to me. So it lets the client resynchronize to the server in case they get interrupted in there. And so if the server never got any bytes, what's the range they're supposed to return? And I don't know, I'm going to have to dig into it, but something to think about. And that was the only thing I had that I think makes sense to chat about today. Proxy namespace, I think we want to probably try to get Derek to see what he thinks on that one, because he's had that issue open for a long while, and I don't think he's had time to really work on it. So I might ping him on the side and see what's happening. Otherwise, short meeting today, unless anybody wants to chat about other stuff. I think folks want to have a short meeting today. Going once, going twice. Sold, short meeting. All right. Have a great rest of your week for everybody in the US. Enjoy the rest of the Juneteenth holiday if you've got the day off. If you don't, sorry to hear that. And we'll circle back here next week. Cheers, all.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Have a
Thanks,
great
folks.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.